me say something that might make you uncomfortable. Your rebound wasn't a failure, it was a rescue mission. And the scale, it wasn't measuring progress, it was measuring your anxiety. Now, before you click off, if you're a woman who has lost weight before, done the program, followed the plan, hit the goal, and then slowly or suddenly went back, this is for you. Not the beginner, not the woman who's never tried. This is for the high achiever, the one who can execute, the one who can be disciplined, the one who says, I know what to do, I just can't seem to stay there. You don't have a motivation problem. You crossed a threshold, and no one prepared you for what happens next. The industry calls it yo-yo dieting, self-sabotage, lack of consistency, falling off track. I don't. I call it re-stabilization. Because here's what actually happens. When you start losing weight, you think you're losing, fat, but you're not just losing fat. You're losing your familiar struggle. You're losing your familiar identity, your emotional insulation, your invisibility, your protection, and your nervous system doesn't celebrate that. It panics. Because for years, your body learned that effort equals safety, pressure equals purpose, struggles equals identity. So when the weight drops, when things get calm, when life starts opening up for you, your system interprets that as danger, and it initiates a rescue, not to hurt you, but to protect you. There's a moment in every transformation that I call the threshold of change. It's subtle, but no, most women don't even notice it consciously. It's the moment when you're smaller, people start noticing, your clothes fit differently, opportunities feel closer, attention shifts, and then something inside you tightens. Not because you want to go back, but because your old identity is dissolving and nothing has replaced it. The industry teaches everybody phase one, calories, macros, steps, plan. That's the effort phase. High achievers crush that, but no one teaches phase two, which is the identity phase. And that's where most women relapse, not because they're weak, but because stability removed the old version of themselves and they didn't build the new one. So the subconscious does what it's not designed to do. It restores order. So let's go deeper into that. Ask yourself this honestly. Who were you at your highest weight? Invisible, reliable, the helper, the overworker, the one who didn't take up much space? Weight is not random. It serves a function. It can buffer rejection, reduce visibility, delay intimacy, soften expectations, keep you inside, familiar emotional territory. So when you lose it, you lose more than just fat. You lose your camouflage, you lose your insulation, you lose the identity that you built around struggle. And if no one helps you build the next identity, your subconscious will choose the familiar one, even if it costs you. That's why you can lose 40 pounds and still feel like the same woman on the inside. And that gap is where the relapse lives. Willpower works in phase one. It does not work in phase number two. You cannot discipline yourself into a new identity. You can't white knuckle your nervous system into safety. Trying harder literally just strengthens the old loop because underneath every rebound is a question. Who am I if I'm not struggling? Who am I if I'm visible? Who am I if I'm actually powerful? And most women were never guided through that. They were coached on food, not identity. They were corrected on macros, not boundaries. They were pushed to lose weight, but never supported through becoming someone who can hold it. That's the dangerous part of transformation, not the effort, the becoming. If you regained weight before, I want you to hear this clearly. Your brain did not betray you. It protected a version of you that it understood. The problem is not that you failed. The problem is that you never rebuilt. You stabilized effort, but you never stabilized identity. And maintenance is not about maintaining weight. It's about maintaining self. The woman who can say no, the woman who can tolerate visibility, the woman who can hold calm without manufacturing chaos. That woman has to be constructed deliberately, safely, contained. This is why in my world, we don't just lose weight, we stabilize, we recreate, we re-embody. Because fat loss without identity shift is temporary by design. You cannot hold a body your nervous system doesn't feel safe inside. And until that is addressed, the scale will always win. The rebound will always come back. And you will always keep thinking that it's discipline when it's identity. If this felt uncomfortable, if it felt accurate, if you saw yourself in this, you're not broken. You're just at the threshold of change. And that phase cannot be navigated alone. If you're a high achieving woman who's lost weight before and regained it back, felt the shame and secretly wondered what's wrong with you, there's nothing wrong with you. but you do need guidance to the most dangerous part of transformation, identity. If you're ready to stop cycling effort and start stabilizing identity, message me. Apply, have the conversation. No generic plans, no calorie obsession, no shame loops, just deep, contained, structured transformation. Because this time, we don't just lose weight, we build the woman who can hold it.